Yo, what is good everybody? It's your boy the Strongest Wizard, and tonight is indeed fight night, and we have another OP05 match here for you guys. We have my man Forrest on the left hand side rocking out that red and purple Law, as well as Endeavor on the right with that brand new Luffy. And we are going to see a 5k swing going into life, and he does actually end up taking it. And we see now Endeavor using the ability to take a life, ramping one down, as well as playing the 4-cost Law to punish Forrest for having 7 or more cards in his hand. Being able to trash 2 is this early is kind of insane, but we do see the Fire Fist being trashed, as well as the page 1, and yeah, most likely passing turn here now. And of course Forrest is now at his 4 Dawn. But quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is DX Now Post DX and Provisions, the only place where I get all my sealed products. And guys, right now I do have a promo code for the site, which is Wizard Gifts, and you actually get 10% off all gift collection sets from the site. So that's pretty awesome. So check the link down below if you're interested in a gift collection set. So we did see the double 5k swing, bringing down the power level of that actual Law to 3k with that Otama, and just being able to swing into life for that pretty nice. Being able to clear board. So it looks like we are gonna swing 6k into that Zoro. Now obviously with this deck you don't want to lose too many cards out of your hand, since you know that you don't really want to do that with this deck. But we finally see the ulti coming down, tapping 4 to minusing 1 Dawn to play page 1 for absolutely free, which is obviously very nice. And now we have Forrest here, of course, now sitting pretty at 6 Dawn. Hasn't used his ability yet for this portion of the game yet. And yeah, I mean, if you guys don't know about this brand new ST10 red and purple Law, is that it actually gets a ton of more support in the OP05 format. And in OP05 you get a lot more consistency cards, as well as event cards that just kind of make the deck a little more fluid. Speaking of a brand new card, we see Gamma Knife here, minusing 1 Dawn, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 5k, which is going to go ahead and be that page 1. And now we see that 5k swing going into life. Now Endeavor here deciding whether he wants to counter out of it, of course, and no, he actually ends up just taking it, going down to 3 life. And now we see an aggressive 5k swing into life with that Zoro, countering out of it with the Khalifa. And we actually see the ability here to bottom deck the page 1 to throw down the 4-cost 5k blocker Law. And now we see a 5k swing going into that Zoro. Does Forrest really want to give up a card when he only has 2 in hand? No, he does not. So we're going to use leader ability to gain 1 life, draw 1 life, ramp 1 Dawn, and then play the 7-cost kid, minusing 1 Dawn to give his leader plus 1k, 6k into life. He does end up taking and passing turn. Wow, this is getting kind of quick. This is going kind of quickly, kind of fast. Of course, here now Forrest only at 2 life, which is pretty normal if you're a 4 life leader, obviously. But we are gonna see that film Law here swinging into that ulti with the regular leader. It does minus 2k off of that ability, but now we see the ability of the leader here to throw down Sachi and Penguin to ramp 2 Dawn, since he did have 3 or less Dawn. Now the question is that my man just threw down another 7-cost kid. This is actually very bad for Forrest now. Now this Luffy leader is at 7k, swinging here for an 8k swing with that extremely busted 7-cost kid. Now Forrest has to either pitch 2 cards or block. Obviously the man doesn't have too many choices, especially with 0 Dawn up, so he most likely here might just take the block. Unfortunately, you are expecting another 7k swing with that leader just to follow suit. So this is kind of rough here for Forrest. So he's actually just going to end up taking it here. And now we see a huge 8k swing. Now this is obviously going to require 2 cards or a block. 2 cards meaning obviously 2 2ks. And I think at this position Forrest actually needs to take this, because he needs to go for gain next turn. Unfortunately, really bad news for Forrest here is that the leader is actually at 7k, and Forrest only has 5 Dawn. So getting to that amount of power, even though he has so many 5k bodies on the board, it's just too difficult. All Endeavor really needs is just 1 card with a 1k counter to really get out of it. But the question is can he even survive another turn? He has 1 blocker up. He has obviously Endeavor obviously has 2 characters on the board, 2 being 8k swings on base, plus that leader which is now going to be 7k every turn. So yeah, it's looking pretty rough here for Forrest. Let's see what he can do to kind of combat this board. But it looks like he's kind of eyeing to use that Fire Fist card. That's another brand new card in the set. Not too bad of a card. Give one of your opponent's characters minus 4k power during this turn. Then if you have 2 or less life, K up to one of your opponent's characters with 0 power or less. Not too bad. It's kind of nice with this ability. He's able to minus 4k on that kid and then swing over it with that 5k film law. So in that situation, obviously it does come in handy. Unfortunately with this matchup, because Luffy's characters are so big in this deck, I mean, man, the amount of huge cards, just because you're able to ramp so fast, you want to play some of the bigger bodies, it's a little useless. So we saw 7k swing going into life. He's just going to go ahead and counter out of it with the 1k. And now Forrest only has 1 Dawn up, and really, he can't really do much. Fortunately for him, he was able to get rid of 1 kid. So now, from now on, his leader's only going to be at 6k instead of 7k. And that's actually going to mean something. Of course it is. And now Endeavor here trying to think exactly how he wants to proceed. He does have 7 Dawn, but we actually see Forrest here still on his turn, using leader ability here to drop another blocker. Totally thought it was Endeavor's turn on that. I do apologize for that. But now we are obviously back with Endeavor, and I think he's at his 8 Dawn turn. Yeah, he's currently at 8 Dawn. I mean, the man has lost a lot of Dawn because of all these different abilities. But we do see the Poly coming down, tapping 5, ramping 1, blowing up that law, and then swinging 8k into life. Actually, 8k into that law, minusing 1 Dawn to give that leader plus 1k on both turns. And now we see the Radical Beam to keep your boy alive. He needs to have the pressure on board for the following turn, but here's the thing. There's no way he keeps it alive. We're going to see a 7k swing into it. It does obviously go down. I guess it's either him or that life. It's kind of the same thing at the very end, I guess. So, yeah, Endeavor passing turn. Only at 6k now than the previous 7k. Unfortunately for Forrest, he's still only at 4 Dawn. So yeah, it is looking kind of rough. And guys, I do want to apologize for the glare on the Dawn. I wasn't too aware of it when I was filming this, so I do apologize for that. Luckily, they are just Dawn. But we are going to see a 7k swing going into life. He's actually going to go ahead and take it, and we see the tragedy going ahead and playing that All Miss Sunday, being able to draw 1 and ramp 1. It's so good. But we are going to see a 6k swing. This has to go through, and no, it does not. And we see another 6k to counter both attacks. And now there's absolutely no hope for Forrest. But unfortunately for the video, we are just going to let it play out. And so Endeavor here, tapping 9 to throw down the rush, swinging into lead, using an ability to minus 5 Dawn to pop a character here, which is going to be that Law, and swinging for game, and Endeavor does take it. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video as well as this channel, and stay tuned because I have a ton of new OP05 content coming out soon. See ya!